my name is Cheyenne and I'm the curriculum writer here at Rex Academy's Digital Arts Summer Course. Of course, I'm excited for you guys and your students to walk through this curriculum. When I designed this camp, it was specifically created to teach your students not just how to make art, but also how to interact with it and talk about art with their peers. This course will cover both National Visual Arts Standards and National Media Arts Standards, meaning that students can have fun while also learning skills that the National Coalition of Art Standards approves of. The whole objective of this class is to teach art skills that can lend themselves well in other areas of students' lives. Making art, students will be practicing problem-solving skills and practicing with digital arts tools and exploring new mediums, which can push them out of their comfort zone. Analyzing art, students will also use critical thinking skills and observation skills to look for understanding and context within the art space. In practicing with in-class discussions over current world art issues, students will better learn how to peacefully debate with their peers while also forming their own opinions. Students will also exercise their social skills while conducting class critiques and working inside group settings. As you can tell, I'm incredibly passionate about making sure that your students have plenty of opportunity to learn and grow, not just concerning their art, but also in the duration of this 20-hour course, they will be improving themselves and their own marketability. As you move through this course, you'll start to realize that I've provided some teacher's guides with recommended amounts of time that you can use in figuring out how you want to conduct your class time. However, this class is intended to be incredibly flexible, to work around you and your students' needs. So feel free to change things up. Give students more or less time as you see fit. It's completely different and will work at a different pace, so adjust the class to best suit your students' needs. You will also encounter some students that are more passionate than other students. Some students will struggle just to get through the art projects. It's not for everybody. However, you will have other students that really enjoy these topics that we're covering. For them, you may want to help them consider investing a little bit more time, energy, and money into their digital drawing resources. These are resources that will help to make digital art way more fun and a bit more easy. In the Digital Arts Introduction section of this class, there is a document titled Helpful Resources for Digital Drawing, and it lists different types of resources that may help students to find digital drawing a bit easier. And these recommendations are based on the most affordable to the least affordable options. They also list both the pros and the cons behind each option. Though none of these resources are required, they may prove to be pretty helpful for students struggling to draw on their computers with touchscreen laptops and using their fingers, or if they have a mouse or a mouse track on a non-touchscreen computer. As you walk through this course, the curriculum will help you to guide yourself through the class and on to what's next. But it will also be on you to administer your classroom rules to students at the beginning of this course. Make sure that you are establishing firm rules with your students so that they know what expectations are on them as they go through this time together. I highly recommend that you go over these rules on the very first day of camp. I know that rules are not the most fun part of summer, but it's important in making sure that your class runs much smoother. And that way, if somebody isn't following the rules, you know what to expect as a repercussion. And that's on you to set those boundaries up yourself. I also recommend that you practice with these programs and the tools that students will be using. If there's a question or a problem that a student encounters, it's going to be much easier for you to help them if you've already explored this program on your own. Also, get involved in class discussions. Help to make sure that students stay on track in their class topics and discussions, and that they're not getting too far off subject. Also, encourage them in their art making journey. Really encouraging for students to see that their teacher cares and enjoys talking about these subjects and their topics with their class. Way more fun if you get involved as well. With that being said, I think you've got a pretty good understanding of the objectives of this course and some general information about what to expect during our time together. So go ahead and move on to the next video titled The Layout of the Class, and I'll see you guys over there.